Now, I have a few observations about like the tournament overall, some specific to this tournament itself. My guy Ethan Strauss, who I know has managed to infuriate a great deal of you over the last couple of years. I understand it. He'd be confusing me sometimes too. But he wrote something about how the in-season tournament has been a flop if the goal was to increase ratings and like develop something that the NBA could use to like up the rights deal, then it has been a flop. And I don't think that this is something that's going to take a while. Like, if you're going to make this happen, like, it's the same point that I make that every time somebody starts one of these professional football leagues, like the XFL or the UFL or whatever the FL you come out with, like, you're not going to make this happen in a year. This is a 20, 30 year project. If you're going to do it and make it happen, like, it's going to take a while. You got to be in this for the long haul. And I don't think that they were just going to get people into this in-season tournament immediately. It's going to take some time. What I think they got a couple of good things out of it, because I wouldn't say it was like some sort of roaring, smashing success. But number one, I do think they accomplished the most important thing, which was the players care. So once it is demonstrated that this is something that the players care about, then you've got a chance for this to turn into a thing, and a thing that gets bigger, and a thing that gets more interest because it becomes something that is superior to the product that you already have here. Like, the problem that the NBA has with this regular season is that it lacks urgency. And so if you create something that has urgency in the long run, I think that'll be positive. And the players absolutely seem to be invested in it, which takes us to a sub point of that I think is very important, which is LeBron James, like elder statesman of the NBA. He came through on that job in this one, because it is very clear LeBron James really, really, really wanted to win this in-season tournament. Like, this was, he don't need that $500,000, although he might have really wanted that $500,000. He was in it to win this tournament, and he played extra hard to win this tournament. And I think that that's very important, because once that happens and you got somebody as important as him and his team wins, then his team looks like it cares about winning this tournament. And now this looks like a thing. Like, you're probably going to have to jump down for some years, but it's going to be some years later, and dudes are going to be like, yeah, I grew up dreaming of playing in this tournament. Because all you got to do to make it seem like a big deal is act like it's a big deal. That's it. That's the only thing you have to do, is act like it's a big deal. And so I think they got the players to act like it's a big deal. And I think it's incredibly clutch for them. And even though I think he fully means it, like, it's clutch of Braun to make the call. They're like, nah, I'm going to be the one to make this be like it's a big deal. Like, for example, I used to do a TV show for HBO, and we had our compliance Zoom, right? You know, don't nobody feel like doing the compliance Zooms, but I really don't feel like having to talk to HR about nobody. So when it was time for the compliance Zoom, I'm in the Zoom, I'm asking questions, I'm engaged, and I'm letting everybody know, hey, man, I'm engaged, and you should be engaged too. And I think that is what, in large part, LeBron James did for the entire league. Because, yes, for a whole damn league, that was a TV show with my name in the marquee. LeBron James is that for the whole damn NBA to this day. And I think he got him engaged.
And I think it was really telling that at the post-game interview, LeBron said, we're the first in-season tournament champions, and you can never take that away from us. And clearly there's a POV of legacy for LeBron that he still significantly cares about and wants to pursue.
Well, yes, because, I mean, it's like he trying to get into Harvard. Just trying to throw something else onto the application. Not just anything else, but a little something that Michael Jordan never did. He really thinks he's going to make this case. He really thinks he's going to make this case. Like, you can't lose sight of that. But hey, it's another thing. He got him an in-season tournament. In-season tournament was great for Tyrese Haliburton, who has introduced himself to a significant portion of the casual NBA fan. And I need you people who, like, get your rocks off talking about how much you love basketball. You need to understand, most people are casual fans. Most people are a little too busy to watch the fucking Indiana Pacers. And Tyrese Haliburton, the dude is basically like if Jokic didn't rebound. Like, you go look at the numbers, that's what this is. He is doing, like, insane bananas things. He's a 50, 40, 90 sort of dude at 6'5", and he doesn't turn the ball over. And he's like, it's when people talk about the 50, 40, 90 thing, you got to be careful because like Malcolm Brogdon's on that list in large part because Malcolm Brogdon didn't, but it's because he didn't put up that many field goal attempts. And to be fair, it's a very similar thing when you talk about Steve Nash. He really wasn't putting up that many field goal attempts. Haliburton's at 53, 44, and 88, and he's taking 18 field goal attempts per game and 9 from 3. Like, those are Steph Curry type numbers.
It's insane when he is the offense and he's still putting up those numbers. And like you said, he's not turning the ball over. It's unbelievable to watch.
Yeah, no. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, evaluating this tournament just strictly in terms of the money stuff that I personally don't care about, right? I think there's a measure of folly in that because I do think Haliburton is right now probably the best young American player that we've got. Right? Like, he's probably objectively a better player than John Morant. Because we talked about this with John Morant. Like, John Morant being out of here, oh no, who's the next young American star? Found him right here, and he happened to be in this tournament. I think that this is a big deal. That like I think this adds to what the appeal or allure of this tournament happens to be. Now, under the heading of people that we had talked about maybe being the best young American player, we had Zion Williamson, and ooh, buddy, this is not good for him. This was bad. This was very, very, very. He would have been better off, obviously, if they had not made this tournament. Because I have tried to defend him because, quite honestly, I just think y'all are mean to fat people. I am not allowed to be mean to fat people. So I don't even get anywhere near this space. But y'all be mean to Zion and talk about it eating and everything else. And my thought was, after he had one of the worst off seasons of all time. To me, that right there, I don't know how much more rock bottom it could possibly have been. I thought he would have changed up his eating habits just because, quite honestly, after what he was dealing with that summer, I wouldn't have wanted to eat. I wouldn't have been able to eat. My stomach would have been like a fist all the time. Like, y'all would have just come back and I'd have been in the best shape of my life just because, oh man, she posted something else. I'd have just been in pain at every turn. The Pelicans were acting like they wanted to trade him. The whole baby mama situation, the woman that wasn't his baby mama, but she went a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs on the internet, like all of this. And then he came back and from camp and he looked like he was in good shape. He still ain't found a barber, but it was whatever. He seemed to have figured out what it had to be. And then they got out here in this tournament, man, and he was just out here looking like, he was just looking tired and he was looking sloppy. And LeBron was just eating him up at every turn. LeBron is taking it right at him. And then they fallen off him, daring to shoot. He didn't have it in him. And I, again, cannot for the life of me understand how in the world after that offseason, you did not come to recognize the time is now, dog. Like, one thing with the NBA, because so many guys come in the league very young, that has become a bit of like it. When you didn't have everybody coming in the league at 19, you didn't have to accommodate so much for the fact that the person coming into the league was 19. Now, I do think that it's wise to do a measure of accommodation for the fact that the cats are 19, like recognizing, oh, he's probably going to need some help finding an apartment, like those sorts of things, right? Like needing life skills or whatever. But ultimately, if you're not ready to be a grown man, then you need to stay in college because college is for kids. That's what Michael Beasley wanted to do, but the money was too big, so they made him go to the league. But you saw how that worked out. But you see what I'm saying, right? There's only but so much slack we're supposed to be cutting to these cats because they kids, because there is a kids game that they can go play. They don't have to come over here to the place where you have to be a grown-up adult. You can stay over there where the kids are. But the thing about Zion is now grown man age. His number one pick in the 2019 draft. That's like, he would be year 2 if he stayed in college the whole way or something like that. Like, your time is now. And now you at the point where Charles Barkley and Shaq, 2 dudes who struggled with weight for their entire careers, being like, hey, man. And they hit him with, to me, what I thought was the truest game. And I think it's something that is very relatable to a lot of us. It's certainly relatable to me. It was like, I thought I was working hard, but I wasn't. You know, like you probably think that you're working hard, but you're not, or at the very least, you're not working as hard as it's going to take for you to get this done. And so he better figure that out. Honestly, with the in-season tournament, it might have been the best thing in the world for the NBA. If it got Zion to recognize that the time is now, That might be a big win for the whole league. But ain't nobody feel like more of a winner than LeBron James, boy. Take that, Michael Jordan. Prize Picks is the most fun you can have by winning up to 25 times your money this football season, and now you can play during basketball season too. You just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and place your entry. Prize Picks is really simple to play. You can make our picks and submit your entry in less than 60 seconds. So make sure you go to prizepicks.com/Bomani and use code Bomani for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/Bomani. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.